So this is 3 tight ends I'm going to drop heading into week 9 of the fantasy football season. And the first guy's Jimmy Graham. He was a guy I was on the fence about last week, and I also called him a sleeper, but enough is enough with Jimmy Graham for me. He had 7 targets with only 2 catches and 13 yards versus one of his former teams, the New Orleans Saints. Graham, I know he's still top 5, I think, in fantasy points for tight ends, but he's just not getting the job done. Nick Foles, he's not getting the job done. He looks horrible. I know there's many weapons ahead of Graham now. You got the kid Mooney emerging too, so you got Anthony Miller there who looked decent, and Jimmy Graham just couldn't get the job done in a matchup where the Saints give up the 3rd most fantasy points to tight ends. So Jimmy Graham in a plus matchup had a dud, and he's a guy I could probably get away from. He's still owned in 58% of leagues. That number I expect to drop. I'm going to drop him this week for a Logan Thomas or Trey Burton, whoever I could get my hands on. So yeah, Jimmy Graham, it's the time to cut him. The second guy is a guy I've been saying for a few weeks to cut him now, and you should. And once again, I'm going to keep saying it till he's finally off rosters, because I seen him once again in a few of my leagues he was starting, and that's Mike Gosicki of the Miami Dolphins. He's still 66% owned. His droppage rate only went down 2% last week. And once again, another dud performance from him with 1.80. Tua Tagovailoa, he didn't look good. It was the Dolphins' defense and special teams that won him the game. And on 2 targets, only a catch for 8 yards. So Gosicki, he was inconsistent with Fitzpatrick. He had a couple blow-up games of 15-plus fantasy points. But the time is now to get rid of Gosicki, because I don't see him doing anything for the rest of the year really with Tua. Yeah, he'll have an occasional game here and there, but he's a headache to own. And I traded him a few weeks ago and dropped him in a league last week. So get rid of Gosicki. And the third and final guy is another guy I've been saying now for a few weeks. Dump him off your team. He's not going to produce, and he's hurt also, and that's Taiwa Higbee. Once again, he was out. Well, he did play yesterday, actually. 4 targets for 2 catches, 14 yards, and that's my point. He's playing, but it seems like he's not even playing, because he's not getting the work. He's not getting catches. Gerald Everett's ahead of him in the pecking order, and I got favorite in that Rams offense. So Higbee now in his last 4 fantasy games, he has not produced. His highest was 8.6 fantasy points, and this is PPR scoring with 3 catches for 56 yards. The targets are not there for Higbee at all. In his last 3 games, he only has 10 targets, so that's not going to get the job done. People are still living off of last season of Higbee's great year. He went down to 62% owned, so some people were listening, dropping him in 20%. But now heading into bye week 9, this guy's percentage ownage should go down even to 45 to 40. So that's 3 tight ends I'm looking to drop heading into week 9.